Joining me right now is Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson. He's a member of the Senate Homeland Security and the ranking member of the Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations. He was among the first senators to really open up this inquiry into Biden family influence peddling. And Senator, it's good to see you. You've been working on this for a long time. Your thoughts on these bank records and these 176 suspicious activity reports, which suggest Joe Biden has been taking and Hunter Biden have been taking money in from foreigners for years?
Good morning, Maria. We've known this. Senator Grassley and I laid out the vast web of financial foreign entanglements of the Bidens in our report in September 2020. The media ignored our report. Our ranking members, by the way, the Democrats' colleagues, during our investigation, accused us of soliciting and disseminating Russian disinformation. I wish Senator Warren would have prodded them to help us in our investigation. We could have uncovered even more back in 2020 when the American people might have then been made fully aware of the fact that Joe Biden would be highly compromised as president. But they didn't do that. Instead, they did everything they could to sabotage our investigation.
Yeah, so increasingly you're seeing House members, given this evidence that we are talking about, increasingly House members want an inquiry into impeachment for Joe Biden. What happens if it happens and then comes to the Senate? Does it die in the Senate?
Well, hopefully an impeachment inquiry would give the House greater powers of accessing information. The problem we always have, certainly Senator Grassley and I had, when we were doing our investigations, is you'd go to the Justice Department, you go to the FBI, and they'd say, well, we'd love to cooperate with you, but we have an active investigation. That was the way they were able to insulate themselves from scrutiny. That they're expert at doing that. So you need documents, you need information before you sit down and question and depose witnesses. Otherwise, the witnesses can just kind of skirt around to all your questions. So you need that documented evidence to really complete an investigation. It's very difficult to do when the administration holds all the cards, and we know we have leftist partisans in those federal law enforcement agencies that are covering up for the Bidens.
Well, it's a good point, because in the middle of all of this information, from the witness testimony to the bank records to the suspicious activity reports, we've got the DOJ attacking Donald Trump. Special counsel Jack Smith is proposing that the former president's 2020 election trial start on January 2nd of next year. That's just a few weeks before the Iowa caucus, and it is a month before the Nevada and South Carolina primary, Senator. So, Jack Smith wants Trump on trial while his competitors campaign.
Well, this is the third election in a row that federal law enforcement will be interfering in our presidential election. They did it in 2016. They did it in 2020. They quite honestly did it in my 2022 Senate re-election campaign here in Wisconsin. Now they're going to do it again in 2024. And the media is corrupt and complicit in this. I noticed a report by ABC News where they're basically downplaying all the information, the new details that James Comer is revealing, and saying, well, this was all covered in Senator Grassley and Senator Johnson's report back in September 20. In other words, downplaying by saying, well, this is all old news. We've known all this. And, of course, with all that in the public domain in 2020, the Bidens weren't prosecuted, so there must be nothing there. That is the game plan of the media, to continue to downplay the severity of the corruption of the Bidens and how they're going to just try and move on.
Yeah, but what are you going to do about it? What can you do about it? Because the censorship does not stop there. They are in the White House creating their narrative and running with it, whether it has to do with Trump, whether it has to do with Biden and the money he's taken in, whether it has to do with COVID.